Hi, I'm Peter and I'm from Forte School of Music in Marden in Kent, and I tend to run the junior keys and the piano keys classes amongst others. Uh, I absolutely love both forms, the junior keys and the piano keys. The junior keys are for the younger children and the piano keys for the slightly older children. The classes have absolutely amazed me with how they're able to progress the children through all sorts of genres of music. For a start, we do classical and we do a bit of jazz and maybe a bit of rock. We do a lot of chord work, which is applicable to any type of music, really, any genre of music. We do an awful lot of playing by ear, which is particularly good for jazz and for more contemporary music, if you like. We also touch on the theory quite a bit, so obviously that's good for the classical side, and once again, it's good for all types of music. But what I really love is the interaction between the children. The parents are involved as well, so the parents know exactly what the child's got to do in terms of practice and work at home. But the kids learn to play with each other, which is fantastic because it's something that I never got as a piano pupil. On my piano lessons were all individual piano lessons, and what I've found as I've gone through life is that I'm now involved in bands and so on, but it took me a long while to get used to playing with other people. But in the junior keys and the piano keys classes, they learn to do that right from the start. And you'll see in videos, and if you come for a trial lesson, you'll see in there how good it is, how good they become at listening to each other and learning to play with each other and keeping time with each other. That's such a unique, such a good attribute to have. And it's particularly unique to the junior keys and piano keys classes here at Forte. I know there are other classes as well, but these ones, because we have digital keyboards and we have a number of them, they're able to all the time play on a keyboard in the same time as others, and we get them so that they move from one keyboard to another, so they very quickly learn where the keys are. That's what we might call keyboard geography. Also, the other thing they learn is to be able to perform in front of other people, because as soon as they move pianos, they're tending to perform to other adults. And okay, it's a nice friendly way of performing, but it's such a good way of learning to perform in later life, maybe to a slightly different audience, a more public audience. We have concerts where they perform to, we normally have perhaps an audience of 100, 110, something like that, 120, and they learn to play those. We do those twice a year in the local hall, which is fantastic fun and such a good experience for the kids. On top of all of that, the course is very, very structured, by which I mean I tended to find when I first started teaching, I was keen to get kids to play tunes straight away, and the issue with that is they played quite good tunes, but they didn't really have the underlying technique, if you like. So then they didn't want to go back to playing more basic things to learn the technique, so they ended up reaching a plateau. Whereas the wonderful thing about the Forte courses is it's good fun because they have backing tracks and they have what we call the practice buddies, so they can see someone actually playing it, but also they're in a class environment, so they're enjoying themselves in activity with others, and we do other activities off the keyboard as well. But at the same time, they're learning all the basic techniques all the time, so that as they progress, their technique keeps up with the sort of songs that they're doing. And after a while, what you find is actually their progression is faster than it would have been otherwise. They get beyond that plateau, they've got the technique, and they're able to rapidly advance and do some really quite technically difficult pieces that are more interesting and more exciting. But all the time, even right from the start, because they have backing tracks and they're really good, fun backing tracks and really well done backing tracks, they're able to enjoy themselves right from the start. So what I would urge you to do is come along and try one of our trial lessons, and I think you'll find you'll be amazed at the difference between our classes and the old-fashioned piano lessons that you may or may not have had as a child yourself. But certainly there is a huge difference. They're such good fun, and they're really, really constructive as well. Thank you very much.